Hello everyone, and welcome to Critical Hit. And this week we're talking about Princess Mononoke, a movie about a character named Ashitaka who gets cursed by a demon that's really a god that was actually a boar god who got turned into a demon because a bullet hit his heart, and so he basically attacked this town, and Ashitaka had a bow and arrow and shot it, and he's like, demon, I don't want to shoot you, but he shoots him, and then he gets cursed, and then the town kicks him out because he's cursed, and he loses like his town and everything, and he leaves, and basically after that he travels like with this red deer thing, and they ride through like this beautiful scenery, and they arrive at this town, and there's samurai there, and the samurai are attacking these innocent people, and Ashitaka's like bang bang with his bow, and 2 people die, and it's really bad because killing people's wrong, and so along the way he learns that he shouldn't do this, and so he meets a monk also who has rice, in the rice gold exchange basically helps him figure out how much gold's worth, and the monk's not really like a good guy, but he seems like a good guy because he talks nice and he's funny, but he's actually not really a good monk at all because he wants to do this thing about killing a god. And anyways, he leaves the monk and travels off to go find out who this bullet was from to see if he can lift the curse, but it's not going to work, but he doesn't know that yet, and he, along the way, he doesn't see this, but what happens is there's people traveling on the side of a mountain, and these wolves attack, and he found 2 of the people in the water, and there he meets Princess Mononoke,
and he
who's
found
wiping blood off her
this
face.
town full of former prostitutes
and lepers who are making guns, but they're also people trying to make a living, so who knows if they're really bad guys. And then there's apes in the forest that throw rocks at his unconscious body after the fight inside Iron Town with Princess Mononoke and Lady Ebosi. And they shoot him on accident, but he has the strength of 10 men, so he doesn't fall unconscious till outside the city, and the wolf grabs his head, and it's really freaky, and then they decide to keep moving on into the forest, and there they meet the forest spirit, who's like an elk, but with like a human face, and there's like life and death, but it's not bad death, it's like normal death, instead of all the bad death that's happening around the humans, because that makes sense, and then the boars show up, and the boars want to kill him, and then Princess Mononoke explains that she's not human, but she's a wolf, but she's really a human who just thinks she's a wolf. And then Princess Mononoke's mom, the wolf, not her real mom, but her adopted mom, says that she's got shot by one of the bullets and is dying, but she won't be turned into a demon, unlike the demon boar god mentioned earlier. And the boars get upset, and they want to know why Ashitaka was saved by the forest spirit, but they weren't, and they're really confused, and they want to know what's going on, like we do, and they decide they're going to attack the humans anyways. So we're about halfway done here. So basically, after that, the humans learn somehow. because there are already humans sneaking around the forest in like dead bodies, and that's really creepy. And we'll get to that later. And they discover that the boars are gonna attack, so they set up. So the monk brings like his monk army, because apparently those exist, and they meet up with the Iron Town people, and together they go sneak out, and they set up a trap. Yes, they place mines down, and the boars explode. And it's not like a cool explosion. It's like a really bad explosion. Like, oh gosh, there are boars dying everywhere. This is really bad. And meanwhile, Ashitaka was caught between the samurais who are attacking Irontown in the background. By the way, there are samurais. But Irontown's okay. They're just under attack. So Ashitaka goes and finds the boar massacre and gets the men from Irontown to head back home, and learns that Lady Ebosi's gone to kill the forest spirit, and the forest spirit gets shot. We'll come to that in a second, because first there's the boar god who's leading the boars, and he's been really bloodied and injured, and Princess Mononoke is leading him, and I've missed half the plot, but bear with me. And basically, these humans show up disguised as boar corpses, and the boar god mistakes them because he's blind for his army come back from the dead, but they're really here to kill him and find the god of the forest, and he turns into a demon, and the demon takes Princess Mononoke, and then the wolves and Ashitaka find her, and they try to rescue her, but there's too much demon tentacles, so they reach the water where the forest spirit lives, and there's the wolf mother who rescues her daughter, and the forest spirit shows up, and that's when Lady Natasha, Nobi, whatever her name is, shoots the forest god after saying the cool line, now I'm going to show you what it means to kill a god. And then she falls, the god gets shot, but he's okay because he's a god, and he kills the boar in like a not scary death way, but like this is a natural thing, it's good. And then he kills the wolf, but the wolf's not really dead, and we'll see that in a moment when her head comes back. And then the lady shoots him again, and his head goes flying off, and he becomes giant goo monster, and all the goo kills everything. It kills like everything, trees, the little spirits, like the people, everything is killed and everything dies, and it's really bad. And Ashitaka doesn't die because he can move around the goo, and Princess Mononoke is with him, and together they confront the lady, and the wolf head bites the lady's head's arm off, and then the wolf head, because she wasn't really dead, gets eaten by the goo, so we now think she's pretty dead. And then the goo spreads everywhere, and the monk, he grabs the head of the forest spirit's head, and they run off, and the goo's growing really big, and it grows like massive, and it goes higher than the mountain, and everything is dying, and Princess Mononoke, the wolves, and Ashitaka decide the best thing to do is to confront the monk and give the forest spirit back his head, and so they ride across the mountains, and the goo spreads everywhere, and it kills everything, and it reaches Irontown, and the people of Irontown have to run into the water, because water's pure, and death doesn't enter it, I guess, because it's life, I don't know, I'm thinking of gravity now. So basically, they get into the water and they're safe, but all the people who didn't get into the water aren't safe because they're dead. And then there's the monk, and Ashitaka is like, give me the head, and the monk's like, this is everything I ever wanted, and then Ashitaka's like, give me the head or I'll kill you, which would be bad because there'd be repercussions for killing people like there's been so far. And so the monk like basically decides to give him back the head, and then he's like, forest spirit, we give you back your head, and the forest spirit eats them, but it's like a glowing gold eat, so it's like a good not death thing, and then life returns, and there's green where all the other stuff was, and the lepers aren't lepers anymore, and the broken arm's not broken anymore, and the people were like, well, that's good, and that's like the end of the movie.
I think we should use that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm curious, how long was that?